Hey yo, it's another video, so let's go. Alright, this video is gonna be about Ghostbusters Afterlife. I took some notes um, from the actual websites and sources, so I'll be giving you the sources. So you're in the cleaned up part of my mind. I'm just like working on like some stuff, like putting it together, and I was noticing some patterns, dates. I wrote down some dates and dealing with the lunar eclipse actually. So this video gonna be about the lunar eclipse and Ghostbusters Afterlife. And you're gonna see. I'm gonna show you a pattern of another movie that was a series, a movie series, just like the Ghostbusters, the movie series. And one thing I didn't know before, and I should have knew this, but I didn't know this. But the movie, the original Ghostbusters came out in 1984. Now that's a lot, and like I missed a lot of pivotal stuff in that year. Even that movie, that book, it came out in 1948. It was called 1984. Um, and and then they actually came out with a movie, a 19 and I think it was but it was called 1984. I had it once upon a time. I don't have it anymore. I wish I did. It was a long time ago, so long ago. I didn't know how rare that film was, but yeah, you ain't gonna never really just see. You gotta really go looking for it. But yeah, I'm gonna bring up how they use eclipse, because they use lunar eclipses or eclipses to come out with certain films. So let's check this out. Okay, the movie Ghostbusters Afterlife, it wasn't released around the Halloween time. It wasn't at all. It could have been, but I was realizing this is like it wasn't the spring equinox. So wait, hold on. It wasn't the spring spring equinox. Yeah. So it was like a let me see. I mean, it was in the fall equinox. Yeah, fall equinox. So the fall equinox was in November the 9th. No, it was in September. Let me get that right. But yeah, after rolling in after Halloween, and then going into that first moon, that's the harvest. That's the beaver moon. So all those things that roll into it, it's a lot of things that I don't want to bring up so many things that's been talked about so heavily about in the media, but I'm gonna stick to uh, what I'm doing. I'll come back to that at a different time. 'Cause I could have brought some up just now, but I'm still putting some things together. So before I make that video and have anything wrong about it, so let's get started with this about this. Let's keep going actually about this. So, why wasn't this movie released in the Halloween time? The time change took place at 11/7/2021 this year. It was on a Sunday. I didn't realize it. I'm like, oh, the time change. So, so like I woke up, I got an extra hour of sleep. So let me see. So I'm gonna go to my first source is Wikipedia. Leading into the week of the lunar eclipse, when the moon moves into the Earth's shadow, this can occur when the sun, Earth, and moon are exactly or very closely aligned with Earth between the other two, which can only happen at a full moon. And that's the source of Wikipedia saying this. Source KTLA.com. The longest partial lunar eclipse in centuries. The beaver moon is expected to reach its peak next Friday at 1 a.m. Pacific time. 1 a.m. because that's KTLA. I'm like, when I looked up this lunar eclipse is happening on the 18th through the 19th. 444 just passed. Just look down. What else? According to the Farmer's Almanac, and they give you a more of a breakdown. I go. You can get the book, inside of a store, or you can go online and get your to the website. And you can find out when all the full moons are happening throughout each month. So okay, and the Ghostbusters film will be released on this, and this is still from the source of KTLA.com. The Ghostbusters film will be released on Wednesday. The eclipse will be starting on Thursday. I said that part about the Ghostbusters. I don't want to get their stuff confused with mine. So like, I'm like, oh, he resourced something. No. So this part right here, when I say the Ghostbusters film, all the way up to the end. All right, the Ghostbusters film will be released on Wednesday. So I put that. Okay. So then this is back to KTLA.com. The eclipse will be starting on Thursday until 1 a.m. Pacific time. Now I put this 4 a.m. Central Time, 5 a.m. Eastern Time. That's when it'll be over for the rest of the U.S. But I put that there because KTLA is actually LA's news station. So KTLA LA that's different time zones, so people would see, so they won't be able to see it at that time, but it'll already be passed because in another time zone. I want to make that clear too also. All right, well, the capturing of ghost energy leading into a lunar eclipse will be like trying to block the energy with the movie. Okay, so you gotta think about it. Like they trying to capture ghosts, and this is right after the Hallows Eve or Hallowmas or Halloween. They're trying to. This is from 1984. So this is 37 years of this film. 37 years. 37 years of this film. They're trying to. And it's called Afterlife. So I was taking note of that name too. Also, Afterlife. The Matrix Reloaded. Now this is all mine on. Okay. I put from the will capturing of ghost energy leading into a lunar eclipse will be like trying to block the energy with the movie. That's me speaking again. Okay. So now the Matrix Reloaded came out. Now check this out. I was thinking, I'm like, man, this is I remember before I keep going, I always want to quote my sources, and like Bobby Hemmett, he always quoted sources where you can go get the book and go get the information for yourself. So so I'm gonna say this. I remember he was like, oh, the Matrix came out during the year 2003. I remember his last lectures was around like 2008, and the ancestors told him to stop doing lectures. And then after they said stop, that's when he had the stroke. So like in 2003, I remember this very. I wasn't into that back in the day. Any of this back in the day, in 2003. So like when I watched the one of the say which one, he was talking. I can't remember which one it was, but he was talking. He said, yeah, the Matrix Reloaded. It happened during an eclipse, and it was two. I didn't realize it was two eclipses that year. That year it was two eclipses that year. Now look, now this is how I know something. Something is happening. The reason why I know something is happening. Now watch this. Now look, 37 years later, right? 9/11. Look at it. Look at I just 9/11 time just passed when I said that. I just had a thought just now. I like going over things in my mind. So 37, 3 times 7 is what? 2021, right? Well, it's 21. 3 times 7 is 21. 37 years later. 37 years later from the first beginning of the film is what? 1984 when the film came out, right? And the first one, the very first Ghostbusters. Up until now, up until 2021. That's 37 years later, exactly. So 3 times 7 is what? 2021. Now watch this. The Matrix Reloaded came out on May 16th. May, that's 516. If you switch it around, it's Babylon 156. Well, from Aleister Crowley's Book of Thoth. But let's keep going. May 16th, 2003. On a Friday, I peeped that note on a Friday. Neo was looked at as a Messianic or Messiah figure by the people in that film. So I always keep having that idea in my mind. I always keep that idea in my mind. Those people dancing. I always try to keep it. I have this thing of mine. I always try to keep that in mind. All those different people. It was like they look like melanated people. So I'm gonna keep reading what I wrote down. Neo was looked at as a Messianic or Messiah figure by the people. That had a lot of melanated people there that lived in the situation. So it was like everybody had a job. It's like you got to think about it. I'm gonna keep reading, and I'll explain more later. I know how I'll get sometimes. Okay. The Messianic or Messiah figure by the people. They had a lot of melanated people there in the film that needed to find the chosen one. Okay, Neo. Okay, if you switch the lettering around, he's that's one, the chosen one, to save the people of that people that's already awakened in a higher spiritual realm in another higher form. Okay, so Neo backwards is one, the one. So finding your true purpose in life makes you your own savior instead of looking for a savior outside yourself. This will be a pivotal point in the world for so-called black people at this time. So 2003, right? So 2001, 9/11, September 11th, was a very pivotal time. And that was to hold down physical, that was the opening of let's go overseas and create an enemy. 9/11, 2001. Okay, yeah, 9/11, 2001. The two towers fell. So if you look in the card deck of the Book of Thoth, Aleister Crowley has the towers in there too also. So all right, so that's with Ishtar, 9/11, Ishtar, and where are they at now? Iraq. They're in Iraq, right? Heavily in that area. They're trying to take a lot of religious relics and all that, but they don't realize. It's just like they don't realize what the Sphinx. They don't realize what's going on. Yeah, like the Sphinx. They think it was something down inside of the Sphinx. Y'all totally missing the point. And I'm not gonna give them anything. I'm not gonna give them no clue what I'm gonna talk about. But I'm gonna keep going. All right. So on the what was it? The Matrix Reloaded, the second one. There's gonna be a fourth one coming out soon. I found out recently when I was watching another film, which was very telling for me, but I don't want to talk about it right now. Matrix Reloaded came out on May 16th, 2003 on a Friday. All right, now check this out. Now that happened during the eclipse time. The Matrix Revolutions came out 11/5/2003 of the same year. It took them years later to make another film, but they do things on ritual-based time constraints to block something in the physical for the spiritual side. Okay, that's what they always do. Always do that. Like don't think just because it's a film is just gonna be entertaining. It's a lesson and it's gonna be a lesson inside these films, because they're dealing with the occult realm, and the occult means that which is hidden. So they'll hide as a means of entertainment things or in mythology in these films. Um, and then you're supposed to understand it, not going as under the spell of their entertainment, but going in as trying to chop it up with your mind and figure out what certain things mean in your mind or in that film that relates to that film, and you figure these things out and break it down to your best ability by understanding certain symbols and certain signs or what certain things mean or what certain people are saying to also. That's what's important when they're speaking in certain films, and you don't get that in the theater. The hearing impaired writing at the bottom of the film, because that's important. The writer, you got what the dialogue is important, because that can be like worth you hearing being that's worth, it could be worth everything, because it could be a whole bunch of misdirection in the film was like a lot of action, and then the stuff, the dialogue, but you wait on the action. But the dialogue is important. I realize when I be putting the captions on, you see everything they say. In them films, you catch everything, and it could be something you might have thought they said something totally different. But when you read something, read what they're saying, you get it to like an extent. You like, oh, this meant, oh, this could be something with this, and then because remember, we're driven to like entertainment. So some people do listen to the dialogue, and some people, you know what I'm saying, really wait for whatever they really came in for the film for. So I try to not let the entertainment value part of the film get in the way of me understanding what's going on in the film. All right, so let me get back to Matrix Revolutions. Came out in 11/5/2003 on a Wednesday. Okay, on a Wednesday, just like this Ghostbusters film is coming out on a Wednesday. If I'm not mistaken, I don't think I wrote that down. But yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I did say that. I did say that early in the. I said that in the video. I'm looking at my notes. I'm glad I wrote it down. The Ghostbusters film will be released on Wednesday. The Eclipse will be starting on Thursday. So they got to get the film out in order to get the you got, in order for you to get the ritual, you got to do it before whatever you're trying to get accomplished. So it's supposed to roll into whatever is going. So we're gonna have a message in the film going against whatever highly melanated people, because we are the real ghosts down here. But it's some fake people out of here that they've been cloned, and their souls are gone, but their spirit, like just like all white people, all different people have spirit, but they don't have souls. But that's a whole nother, that's a whole nother way longer conversation to get into. I have a video about that. So, dealing with the whole, I have a whole video about that. But yeah, so we get back to, so these are pivotal times for highly melanated people, so-called black people. So, it always is a pivotal time because we're breaking out of a cycle. All right. So in Matrix Revolutions, I'm going to get back to that part. So they had both films in 2003 were actually, it came out during eclipses. There were two eclipses of 2003. Okay. So it was 11/5 and May 16th, around those times. All right. So I'm just showing you, they will pull a film on a Wednesday, and then before that Friday comes out. So they'll do that from time to time instead of just coming out on a Friday, because that's why this film is coming out. The Ghostbusters film coming out on a Wednesday, because they got to catch it before the actual eclipse happens. All right. Okay. So that scene of being a savior and losing his woman in death, it will take a female and male to do what needs to be done. What I'm talking about is the Matrix Revolutions. If you haven't watched the film, it's been out for a long time. So, but yeah, you need to, like, so when they tell you that I'll show you that actually the female, just like Ishtar. Ishtar is like I said, 9/11 is one of her numbers too. September 11th, or or Lakshmi is 9/11, and Alakshmi uh is 6/11. But Lakshmi and Alakshmi is in Hindu mythology, and Ishtar is in Sumerian mythology, or mythology that's out in Persia or Iraq, modern day Iraq. So so that day, that was the opening of the gate. So that's why I have to do things physically to block certain energy, or to give certain energy to certain energy, to feed certain things, to give them a certain allotted amount of time to keep going. So if I told myself, I said, what if I got in front of their path and broke something to the point where their uh to the point where their ritual doesn't work. I got you. I got this. So I wanted to challenge myself. So I want to challenge myself. That's what this shit is about. Challenging yourself and going past limits. Go like not visually seeing limits in your mind, in your surrounding world. 21, I shade. I just keep going. All right. So it just shows you. Both Matrix movies was released on eclipses of 2003. So what is that telling you? They're blocking energy. Like I say, everything outside yourself is inside yourself. So if, like you're saying, you have to go into those movies with a mind of, I'm not letting this get to me, as in tugging at my heart. Like with emotions, emotion like that, because we supposed to be breaking this stuff down. We'll be breaking this stuff down and understanding what this stuff means. So, or getting into the action and stuff, because there's gonna be a lot of. Remember, it's gonna be a lot. Remember, the first film, they had a lot less things they can do with actual technology. So I seen like I wanted to go check the trailer just now, and it's like a version of the 1984, but these are the grandchildren of the actual the original person that was actually in the Ghostbusters. So, and the funny thing, yeah, let me keep going. But yeah, had a thought just now. I want to keep going. I don't want to lose focus. So um, so yeah, so they're gonna be like, this new one will be like the grandchildren of those guys, and showing how he was saying how he knew something was gonna happen around this time when the beast was gonna come out. So it was like, have you ever seen the very first one? So they showing you when that energy get inside highly melanated people, that energy in your souls. They remember they got inside Rick Moranis and Sigourney Weaver in the original. So they got inside them and they end up having sex. And people, like, I got the second one too, and I didn't get to see the third one. I feel like that's Rick Moranis' child in that second one. I have a video speaking on not releasing in sexual encounters with a female counterpart by but when you have sex, being able to hold everything instead of releasing it is a very simple process. But being able to not ejaculate while in sexual um, instances. So like how keeping it going uh, further and further, and so like not just like 10 minutes or whatever, just keeping it going as long as you got that time. And also, if you got that time, even if you don't got that time, you don't release. But like anyway, let me keep going. But like they were showing how they had that energy come inside them, just like how Aleister Crowley was taken over by AWAS. That's how he wrote the Book of the Law. So that energy of AWAS ended up taking over Aleister Crowley, and that's why he was able to do those things in April 8th through the 10th April 8th through the 10th, um, in Cairo, Egypt. So he was able to do those things, and through that, he was able, with him and his wife Rose. So I want to keep going with what I had wrote down. So this is the afterlife, and they're trying to block something. Like this is exactly 37 years, and I understand. I just was thinking of something because and I was looking at the year and to now, they're clocking something. They're on the lookout for something. So a lot of things happened in 1984. I'm realizing. But yeah, I also was like, they also so the film is called Ghostbusters Afterlife, and so when I was kept looking at the name of the film, I thought about Prince. I remember I said, and he said in the Afterworld. I remember that on the first song off the Purple Rain soundtrack, and I was like, yo. And I said, let me go listen to this, and write the words down, the lyrics to what he was saying on the first track. So I'm gonna read what he had said. So check this out. Dearly beloved, we are gathered today to get through this thing called life. Electric word life, it means forever. That's a mighty long time, but I'm here to tell you, there's something else. The afterworld. A world of never-ending happiness. You can always see the sun, day or night. In this life, things are much harder in the afterworld. In this life, you're on your own. And if the elevator tries to bring you down or break you down, go crazy. Yeah. So like he had some few words in between. I talking about seeing that shrink or that doctor out in Beverly Hills. I took that part out. So you got now. Another thing is, now check this out too. Now I don't know if I said it already, but Purple Rain came out in 1984, the same year as the first Ghostbusters film. I was like, wait a minute. Now, I'm gonna break down what I just read from the Prince thing, and I was like, okay, let's keep going. So, all right, let me get to the part where he said, "This life is electric." So, I'm not telling you what to eat or what anything like that. I'm like certain things for certain people that'll help certain people. So if we so prone to eating a lot of salt, highly melanated people, we gotta change certain things in order for, spiritually and physically, like eating wise, or learning wise, keep our minds electrified by learning new things. So I'm saying certain things to the point where you don't have to feel like this lunar eclipse will pass you by. No, so I'm saying, like, you can change certain things around this time, like certain ways you can eat, like electrically, or you start gaining information before this eclipse really ends. So like read certain things or reach out for information. Like when I be looking for certain things, it would be like right around the corner. I have an idea in my mind, and I say, what if this and this? That's why when I go looking for this stuff, that's how the ancestors give you like certain downloads of certain things. You be inquisitive because those ancestors are different versions inside of you. So they are doing this with you, and we're just like we're making ourselves stronger, our higher self stronger. Like say if you eat collard greens or something, and we was like back in the day, we was putting a lot of ham hocks or turkey necks. I love turkey because but ham hocks and still or ham pork or whatever inside the greens, and it'd be like a lot of salt in them. Trust me, I know. You know what I'm saying? Like back in the day, like but like eating like I found out about me eating greens just like out of the bag, like just clean like out of the clean and just eating them straight raw. Like it tastes way different. It tastes way it's beautiful. It's a nice taste. Like but like most people probably wouldn't like the taste just eating it by itself like that. But like I've been you know what I'm saying? I've been loving it. So like being able to do that like eating, he's saying life is electric. So learning around a full moon or bringing your thought, closing your eyes sometimes, like just meditating, because like that's the dark side. Like they said in the Transformers movie, the dark side of the moon. This would be the dark. Like I read earlier, um, they were talking about on Wikipedia. Um, Leading into the week of the lunar eclipse when the moon moves into the Earth's shadow, the dark side of the moon. Okay, so like now we're gonna be on the dark side of the moon because we're in the Earth. We're gonna be the Earth shadow. So so back to the word life. It means forever. This is back on the Purple Rain when Prince was talking. Word life. It means forever. That's a mighty long time, but I'm here to tell you there's something else, the afterworld. So they have the film called Afterlife. The afterworld, it means you're here in a physical body and your soul is come out of the woken up out of the egg or lamb. Lamb, you find that in the the book of the law, like I spoke of earlier, and also the great works, or melanin is 13 backwards, 31, 13. Those are reflexes, and I was reading through that because they have a student of Aleister Crowley, Kenneth Grant wrote a book called The Ninth Gate. When he was breaking that down, he had broken on a lot more things that was just out of the book of the law. So love that book too, man. I'm grateful for that book. A lot of books I get, the answers be, really be just given. Like when you do certain things the right way, it'll come to you and things will make sense. And I'm grateful for that, man. Definitely. So I'm keeping going. So when he said the afterworld, so this is like a continuation of something because this is 1984. The same, both those films came out. I mean, the both of the films, Purple Rain and the Ghostbusters. Remember the Ghostbusters song? Who did not? I'm not sure if it was who it was. It was. I know it was a highly melanated person or a so-called black person. They'll do things like that. They'll have them like make the that was a highly melanated so-called black person. I forgot the guy's name right now. I should have wrote it. I couldn't remember to write that part down. But I saw it when I was watching the film a few months ago. And I saw it. I'm like, man, I remember this person. This person was a well-known musician back in the day, but a singer. And so I'm just looking at it, and it's like I remember Prince. He won the Emmy for best. I think it was best soundtrack or best song. But for that, and he came up there. I think he won that, and so he did. If you like think about it, it's like if you say ritually, you got to look at certain things a certain way when certain things win, and that was during that year, that 1984 year, just like that movie 1984. So check this out. A world of never-ending happiness. So this movie is called The Afterlife, Afterlife. When Prince said the afterworld, never-ending happiness. You can always see the sun, day or night. So the sun, on the dark side of the daytime, when you see in the daytime we see the illusion of the sun, like the big sun. At nighttime, the sun is called the star Sirius. So the star Sirius is the actual sun. Of the daytime is like the illusion. At night, that's because the sun always rotates, but it's always dark. So if it's dark, it's sunlight in say if it's sunlight in America, it's dark over in the eastern hemisphere because they're on the dark side of the moon because the sun is always dark at all times, but it's the sun that rotates, because that means it came later. So the star Sirius itself is the actual sun in the day. In the nighttime, it is the actual sun. That's what the sun is. In our daytime, that's what the sun is. It's just a like I said before, like those numbers. It's a reflex of those. So so at nighttime, they call the sun of the star Sirius also. In the book of the law, he said, I see the sun at night. Okay, in this life, things are much harder in the afterworld, because you made it past something where, like, God was trying to keep you from raising yourself up. Or Lucifer has to fall in order to raise himself up. How can you raise unless you've been in a fallen state? Just like we fell into these bodies. Now, like the phoenix rises out of the ashes, right? Okay. Just like you're on your own, right? And if the elevator tries to break you down, go crazy. That's the monster inside. So they say Leviathan, or they say Cthulhu, or they say Tehum, Quetzalcoatl, the plum snake, or the dragon. Go crazy. That's the dragon on the inside of you, bringing that energy up. So I was talking about, and that was by Prince. I didn't write any of that, those lyrics. I'll just let you know again. I'm just, you know how people be. So Prince, in 1984, won. Now I remember I remember seeing a video on YouTube. Prince won the Emmy for that album, and so. Yeah, that was just, you know, I was listening to that album again last night. When I wrote this, was writing that part down. So, but yeah, so I want to go ahead and put this video. So I'm just going to show you how, with the eclipses, that's the outside or the illusional world, but these movies can be broke down, like, you know what I'm saying, outside wanting to see it. I mean, that's cool, like, for the, you know, they have like, oh, we'll have it online so you can see it, but that energy is going on inside yourself. That energy is going on inside yourself. And so if that energy is going on inside yourself, don't be just looking just to see what it looks like. Go ahead on and use this energy for time for yourself. And when you do use this energy time for yourself, you're able to make yourself stronger. So you make yourself stronger. So that's the whole point of everything. Trying to block the energy. They're using these times, like I said, with the Matrix movies. They both came out around the exact times of these eclipses. Just like with this movie's come out in an eclipse, they got to come out before in order to grab the energy and take all the energy. So you have to keep your mind sharp. I've been feeling like a lot of changes lately around, like, you know what I'm saying, with me around this time. So it's another eclipse happening this week. So I wanted to get this video out, and I was like, I didn't want to just drop the video and just didn't have have the information for it. So this video went a lot longer than I had planned. So I'm glad I took my time and wrote the notes down. Slow down some. I'm glad I took the time to write the notes down, and not just going off the top and just give you some unsettled information. But yeah. So if you're going to go watch that film, don't be just looking to be entertained. Look to break down the film, and not just. And so it's look at what they're saying, and because remember, you got to be assigned. You got to save your own soul. So that's what this is about: the afterlife, getting past something or some things trying to block you from getting to where you're supposed to be at. As far as I'm gonna talk about that, because things are changing, and I see things are changing, and I'm ready for it. All right, kill God, kill a day. All right, nigga.